Hello, here we're going to learn something about the future continuous to help you with your writing. So here's a story about a time machine and a schoolgirl called Matha. Read along with me. On her way home from school, Matha found a mysterious machine marked Time Machine. Being a curious young lady, Matha dropped her books, climbed inside and looked around. The machine had two settings, one for past and one for future, and a big red button that said, "Don't touch." Matha changed the setting to past and slammed her fist on the button. Then the machine whirred and purred and spun and lunged and made lots of noise. When Matha looked out the door, she saw herself as a young girl. The machine suddenly started to speak. When you were a child, your parents were living in a small house in Fujairah. When your baby brother was born, you were 6 years old. When your mother dropped you at school, you were crying. When you graduated from secondary school, you were still learning English. Matha had had enough. She didn't want to see any more about the past. So she changed the dial to future and slammed her hand down on the button again. Again the machine whirred and purred, spun and lunged, and made lots of noise. When Matha looked out the door this time, she saw herself as an old woman. The machine suddenly started to speak. When you get married, you will be living in London. When you return to the UAE, your husband will be working with ADNOC. When you have children, you will be very happy. When your children go to university, you will be earning a lot of money. Matha decided that she had seen enough. She pushed the button again, saw that she was back to her time, and jumped out of the machine. She grabbed her bags and ran home to tell her mother what had happened. We can see that Matha learned a bit about her future, and also to be careful with strange machines. When the dial was turned to future, the machine spoke mostly using the future continuous. Look at what the machine said and decide on the grammar rules for the future continuous. The machine said these things. The structures in blue are examples of the future continuous. How can we explain this structure? We can see will plus be plus the present participle, so that's the base form of the verb with ing. When can we use this structure? Well, there are many ways, but one important use is when a person looks into the future and a future situation. Here are some more everyday examples. This time next week, I will be flying to Australia. By his next birthday, he will be swimming like an expert. Just think, next Monday you will be working in your new job. So the phrases in yellow, green and blue help to place a person in the future. Now it's your turn. Complete the sentence. This time next week I will be... And how about this one? By his next birthday he will be... And then just think, next Monday you... Write them down before you go on. So what did you learn here? We can use the future continuous to place ourselves or someone else in a future situation. How do we make the future continuous? It's will plus be plus the present participle, which is the base form of the verb plus ing. Now all you have to do is try to use the future continuous in your writing.